Hello Dentapreneurs to the second video of brand and branding in dentistry. In the previous video, we reached these topics: what is brand, what is branding, brand examples, branding basic principles, why is branding important, how we should define a brand, and we started discussing about creating a brand in dentistry, and began with selecting the name and the motto of the brand. In the third point of building brand process is selecting the colors. It is commonly known that colors have different meanings and are associated with various emotions and feelings. For example, blue is the color of calm and serenity and inspires security and the feeling of safety. Red is associated with passion, importance, but also can be linked with aggressivity. Discover more about what emotions evoke colors by scanning the QR code or by accessing the link in the description of the video. In this part of our building brand journey, you have to pick up colors that are linked to your values and principles. I suggest you to select only 2 colors in order to enhance the association with the brand so that people learn much faster. Also, it is important that the colors you choose match together. I suggest you to check this link and this one to see the best color combinations. The links are also in the description of the video, of course. Let's go back to our case study. The colors for high dent could be purple, which is the color of luxury, and black, that is a sophisticated color that indicates power. For fairy dent, brand colors could be orange, that is linked with playfulness, and blue, that inspires safety. Now that you've picked up the colors of your brand, it is time to choose the fonts of your brand. So if it was something kind of obvious that colors evoke different emotions, I want to tell you that fonts are also involved in triggering different feelings. For example, psychological association of sans serif fonts are progressivity, friendliness, open and informal behavior, and in the case of script fonts, the links include fun, amusement, childhoodness, and romanticism. Of course, fonts should match together too. I know it sounds technical and may be boring, but actually it's quite simple and fun. Check this link where you can discover more about fonts and emotions they evoke, and this link to see suggestions regarding font combinations. Okay, now let's implement this information in our example. For high dent, the serif and sans serif fonts would work, and for fairy dent, the proper fonts could be script and sans serif. So I chose Yellowtail and Open Sans for high dent and Oswald and Montserrat Light for fairy dent. Moving further to the 5th stop in the brand building process, it's time to design your logo. Tips in creating or adjusting the logo or communicate them to the person that is in charge with designing it are: use the brand colors and brand fonts you chose. Of course, keep the connection with your values. Keep it simple. Every expert logo designer and any graphic designer will give you this advice. When you speak of a simple logo, it implies that there should be the use of 1 or 2 colors, as I said, the colors of your brand. Make sure it reflects the nature of dentistry. Make sure that your logo is fully capable of representing dentistry business and your main services. For example, if you have an implant surgery clinic, add an implant into the logo, or if you have an orthodontics dental office, include some brackets into the logo as well. Also, you can get feedback from your family and friends. Elements that are part of a brand can trigger all senses of a person, not only the visual one. Until now, we approach subjects about mainly visual associations with the brand: name, motto, logo, colors, and fonts. So now we are going deeper to figure out how we can involve the other senses in branding: smell, hearing, taste, or touch. We will begin with olfaction. The best example of a brand that is recognized by a specific smell, I think, is McDonald's, but also clothes stores use specific scents for branding, such as Zara. Okay, I know that dentists already have a pattern in this area in the perception of society, because many substances used in dental offices have a specific, usually bad smell. But nowadays, things have changed and the modern materials are generally neutral regarding the smell. So let's choose a smell for our dental business. The implementation part is intuitive. For example, using automatic room spray. In this area, there are no concludent studies, so you can pick up a scent that you like and which you think has a connection with your brand. Also, you can check online the associations for each smell you are thinking of. Returning to our case studies, for high-dent I would choose lavender, what is the smell associated with luxury and health. And also in this example I was linking the color of the brand with the smell of the brand, because lavender is purple, of course. Another example is rose smell together with the red color of a brand. For fairy-dent, I think the proper color would be bubblegum, because it smells associated with childhood and energy. The last points in building your brand are related to hear, taste and touch senses. The idea of using these senses is simple, selecting elements that are in line with brand built until now. And what actually matters is your intuition and creativity. Before moving further with the next step, I want to point out that you don't need to struggle too much here, and if you're not finding something linked directly to your brand, you could choose something that you like or you think that your patients will enjoy. It's no secret that emotion can be strongly impacted by music. The American Psychological Association stated that music was the key sensory factor in making impulse purchases. They discovered that shoppers who made a purchase they hadn't planned before spent $33 more on average when music was playing than impulse shoppers that were not exposed to music. When we're talking about hearing associations in branding, we're mainly talking about music style that patients are listening to in the waiting room or dental offices, or in the background of some presentation movie we are posting on social media. Also, if you register audio or video advertising, the tone, rhythm, timbre of the voice may be a differentiation element. At this point, you have to choose a music style or a playlist that is associated with your brand. In this case, we also have to be aware of the fact that patients may be nervous about their appointments, so playing soothing background music could help them relax. For high-dent, we can select jazz music that, fun fact, with a lot of rhythm, some melody and some harmony, is predominantly purple in color. Jazz is often described as an abstract intellectual genre and is known to reduce negative emotions. And of course, for fairy-dent, the best choice would be a playlist for kids, including the most popular songs among our little patients, such as Baby Shark. Now, let's see some things about the taste of a brand. Of course, the companies selling food and beverage rely on this association. Coca-Cola, McDonald's or KFC. Okay, I know that dentistry business are no restaurants or fast food chains, but we can also associate the taste with our brand to consolidate it and differentiate it from our competition. Keeping the main idea, we have to select a taste that is related to our brand. Or to make it easier, you can select a taste that you think most of your patients, that main segment, enjoy. I'm referring, of course, to something to eat or drink. It is important to mention that in this particular case of choosing the taste, it's important what brand of food or beverage we select, because we can use it in our benefit. How? Due to the transfer of trust and values that a known brand has. For our two case studies, an idea would be specialty exquisite candies for high-dent, for example candies from Ferrero company that have among its values elegance and refinement, and kids candies for fairy-dent, for example candies from Kinder, that is a brand dedicated to children and inspires joy and playfulness. The sense of touch can be approached if we are stimulating the skin of the patients we can do this through hand cream, and here we can add the smell factor too, or very comfortable chairs in the waiting room. Okay guys, let's sum it up. Until now we have discussed the following: what a brand is, what branding is, why is branding so important, brand examples, basic branding principles, defining and building our brand. Now let's go to the last part of this short course, which is the most practical, because we will see how we can effectively implement our brand in our dental business. To see clearly and organized how we can apply all this theory in our practice, we'll approach two important areas where we can implement elements of our brand: online and dental office branding, including the reception, waiting room, and the bathroom. Let's begin with online branding. First sense, visual. Being the most important sense, we can catch it through various communication channels such as websites, social media posts, newsletters, or advertising on external websites. Some obvious but important rules for online branding are: use mostly the colors and fonts of your brand, use the logo everywhere, add your motto in the text of all your posts. The hearing sense could be related using two major methods: website of the dental business or promotion clips with a specific music style or playlist in the background. The other senses can be involved if they are induced by something visual, picture that you can smell, hear, or touch. And now it's time to discover what we can do in the physical place, in the dental office, in order to expose our brand. First, concrete elements related to the visual sense. Walls painted in the color or colors of your brand, furniture in the color of brand. It's also important that the style of the furniture matches the brand. Paintings or decorative elements that have colors of the brand or are in style with the brand. Big logo painted on the wall. Clothes of the entire team with the color or colors of the brand and the logo on the blouse. Logo colored, added on consultation sheets. Branded single-use cups with your logo, of course. Personalized devices with your logo. Use companies that are famous among your main patients. For example, there are a lot of implant companies that invest a lot in advertising, and patients are looking for those brands. Here works also the transfer of trust, which I have mentioned before. Any other elements that can amplify your brand. For example, if you want to inspire innovation and the use of high-end technology, you can put VR glasses in the waiting room. For the pediatric dentistry clinic, of course, you may arrange a playground for kids, or at least place some toys in the waiting room. If you want to convey freshness and grit in the color of your brand, you may add some plants in the waiting room. Secondly, let's check what elements are associated with hearing sense. The music in the background, the ringtone of the reception phone, the paraverbal communication of the receptionist and doctor can be warm, joyful, formal, or informal. Now let's remember which elements can trigger the smell, the taste, and the touch senses. For the smell sense, we have automatic room spray and hand cream placed in the waiting room or and bathroom. For the touch sense, there are the comfort of the chairs that may have heating system also, and the hand cream. And for the taste, any drinking and food products we are offering to the patients from certain known brands to take advantage of the trust transfer. The discussion about branding is complex, and there are a lot of aspects we can implement or change in our dental office. I've tried to approach the most important ones, but there are other details that we can work on. In the end, I want to mention other 3 interesting ideas. We can select specific lights in our dental offices, white and yellow light, or even colorful lights depending on what we want to evoke. We can use key messages in the advertising, texts, websites, social media, or any other communication channels. We can also conceive a story to tell around the brand, if there is a family business or dental office, or if you are doing charity. Dear Dentapreneurs, I am glad to say that you completed the course, and I hope you enjoyed it and that it's going to be helpful for your practice. If you want some motivation and clear goals, here is my challenge for you. Of course, skip the points that you already accomplished. Select or invent the name of your brand, and Dr. John Smith Clinic is not a brand. Don't worry regarding the juridic aspects. Even if you're officially registered with another name, in most of the countries you can use other name for identification. It's important to declare it to the official institution that's in charge of this aspect. Create the motto of your brand. Select the brand colors and fonts. Create the logo of your brand, of course with the help of a specialist. Choose the music style or the playlist that is linked to your brand. Select the smell and taste associated with your brand. Apply at least 5 methods from the ones presented in your dental office. Your time is probably limited. I know the feeling, so it's not necessary to check all of these points in one day. Take it step by step and you'll see the results in time. If you think some guidance would make your work easier, complete this form and let's have a talk in private. The price is only 1 hour of your time. In the end, I want to congratulate you for investing this time in your development and thank you for your attention and trust. If you found it helpful, you can follow our social media pages because we are preparing a lot of useful and interesting materials. You are a dentapreneur, you are more than a dentist. Wish you a productive day. Goodbye.